everyone, welcome to the B-Side Breakdown. My name is Brett Johnson, and I am your host. This is episode 35 of a podcast where I talk with other artists, musicians, and songwriters about a song they've written that's meaningful to them, that they want to chat about and get deep into the why behind it. But first, I got to get permission from them to play the song in its entirety on the episode so you, the listener, can hear it so you have some idea of what we're talking about. Cool? All right, so today I'm going to be talking with Kat and Amanda from the band Indoor Friends about their song Psyayayduck. So let's get into it. Here is Psyayayduck by Indoor Friends.
Showed my therapist a song I did, and she told me I was talented. I said thanks, I wrote it when I was depressed.
Are you proud of me?
Told my psychiatrist to change my meds, and they just upped my dosage instead. I said thanks, I knew I could count on you.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
Say it gets worse before it gets better. If the glasses are full, does it actually matter? And what doesn't kill you just makes you sadder. So screw it, I'll just play video games. My Pokemon like me better anyway. I'd rather play Mario Kart all day than think about the breakdown underway. Told my friends that I was feeling blue and that I don't know what to do, and they replied, ha 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 ha, same.
Now here's a million memes.
Say it gets worse before it gets better. If the glasses are full, does it actually matter? And what doesn't kill you just makes you sadder. So screw it, I'll just play video games. My Pokemon like me better anyway. I'd rather play Mario Kart all day than think about the breakdown underway. I am a champion on my Nintendo, but in reality I couldn't even write an end to this bridge. So screw it, I'll just play video games. My Pokemon like me better anyway. I'd rather play Mario Kart all day than think about the breakdown underway.
All right, and that was Psyayayduck by Indoor Friends. We're going to take a quick break and come back with Kat and Amanda to talk about the song. So hang out, stay with us, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, and we're back. Let's bring in Kat and Amanda to talk about their song, Psyayayduck, and find out more about the band and what they're up to next. Hey, Kat and Amanda, thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me today about the song.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. I love that you reached out, and I love that you signed up to do an episode. It's such a fun song, and I've just been digging in and learning more about you all as a band, and that you hail from Boston, correct?
Yeah, we are based in Boston, but none of us are like from here.
Oh, that's perfect. Right. So awesome. Well, before we get into all that, tell me about the song and why specifically you wanted to talk about this one.
Sure. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go
All right,
first.
cool. So I think the song's pretty like as like goofy as it is in a lot of ways. It's kind of meaningful to us as a band because it really feels like the first song we like fully workshopped before recording our first EP that we put out. We were just moving so fast. We just wanted music out in the world and like, hey, we need people to be able to look us up and hear things. So we were like writing like crazy and probably not putting songs through their paces as much as we would have liked.
Sure.
So when we were finished with that, we started writing this song, and it was it was nice because it's just like we've played it for live for 2 years, so that's been kind of fun to kind of see people's reactions, what's working, what's not working. So I
Yeah,
think like it's kind of felt like a turning point for our band in that way that we're like, you know, workshopping things live, seeing what works, what doesn't. So I think that's why it's kind of important to the band.
sure.
And then for me personally, this has just been a it's been a really fun song to write with Amanda. We didn't get to write a lot of songs, just the two of us on the EP. Um, so I had a lot of fun like working on it together. I think like something that I like about it is that we kind of set out to write something that wasn't maybe as heavy as as our EP was.
Okay.
And as this song has evolved and like over time, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, it actually kind of has a lot more meaning than we maybe intended for it to have. Um, so that's been kind of cool.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I love the playful is right. I mean, there's like this playful, silly sort of vibe, like not silly like it's silly, but like we
Yeah.
don't exactly take ourselves completely seriously. But at the same time, that's not a lack of seriousness to the content of it. I mean, to me, it's there's also kind of a deeper thread of it sounds like you're talking about some kind of dark stuff and we just, deal with let's just play video games,
Yeah.
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 like
So
go ahead.
I I'm actually a music therapist, so it can be hard for me not to write about mental health.
Sure.
And I feel like I wanted to, when I was writing it, I wanted to challenge myself to write something that, yeah, wasn't sad, but also like kind of generally relatable, even if your struggles are different than mine or you don't have mental illness. Um, so I know that like life can be really rough, and I think the state of our mental health has a huge impact on how we handle it.
Hmm.
And I think something that I touched on was like in the verses around even getting help can sometimes feel frustrating or disheartening, and it makes like that detachment or escapism just that much easier to do. Um,
Sure.
and I also know on the flip side of that, people talk a lot about how unhealthy that is, like to doom scroll and spend your time playing video games. But I wanted to kind of make a song that felt accepting of that, especially if like you're struggling to just get by and stay alive. Just accepting however you manage to get through the day was something I wanted to get across.
Absolutely. No, and that really resonates with me on a different level. I mean, for me, that's just kind of the notion of I need to be gentle with myself today and just give myself a break, like whatever that is. And if that's doing that, something that may be self defeating in a context, if this is all I do 365 days a year, okay, maybe I have to reevaluate that. But I think if this is what I'm doing, like, well, hey, if it works and it works for now and it gets me through today, then maybe that's okay, just as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, so I
Totally.
totally feel that. And I love one of my favorite things that caught me is the verse where um, they say it gets worse before it gets better. If the glass is half full, does it actually matter? I love that line. And
It's
what
great.
doesn't kill you just makes you sadder. That was so great. I was like, wow, I completely identify with that.
We when
That's so much fun.
we were kind of as we were writing it, we got through we were writing the verses, and we also kind of broke away from some of our not necessarily bad habits, but maybe consistent writing habits that we had. I know Amanda tends to be very rhymey, and as we were like getting in the verses, she was looking for a like fourth thing in each part to rhyme, and I was like, it's actually just kind of funnier if you just stop. Like it's like, So then we had people fill in, but when we got to that kind of pre-chorus part that you're talking about, um, we had this say it gets worse before it gets better because we were like, oh, that's like something people say to you all the time. And I'm like, well, it's kind of funny if it's like as it's going, they're almost like becoming more and more mixed metaphors and just like you're losing touch of like it's kind of that feeling when people keep telling you, yeah, like just look on the bright side or like don't worry about it. It's things will get better soon. Like these sort of platitudes that people tend to throw your way when you're going through a really hard time. And it's like when you're when you're struggling and you have to, if you're going through a depression or you have constant depression, it's hard. It kind of all blurs together into these weird like versions of what you're hearing from other people. So that's cool that you like that. That's one of my favorite parts. When we were writing that, we were both laughing pretty hard at that.
Yeah. No, I love that whole approach. It's so good. So is this just then what's going on with this song? Is it a single? Is it on is it part of a record or what's kind of happening with it?
Yeah, so it's a single. We're working. We have another single coming out. We kind of move faster than we should a lot of the times. We end up like always writing all these things, and we're like these should be singles, and then we're like, well, to what? And so we take a step back. But we're definitely towards the end of the year we're going to put out. Um, I think it's going to be a full length. It might end up just being an EP depending on what we feel fits. We have a bunch of songs in the can right now, but yeah, we
Great.
have a single coming out in probably a couple weeks, so we're just waiting to get that final mix back and put that out there. But it's yeah, so it's the first music we've released in a while, so we're pretty excited. We kind of felt like I said, we were like workshopping it probably way too long to be honest. Like playing in 2 years is like insane. But um as we were playing shows and people would always get really excited about that song specifically, and we'd had people come up to us after the show and ask us like, oh hey, how can I listen to that one, or like I really liked that specific song, and telling them that like we had like at the time no plans to release it was was a little, kind of felt like a bummer. So
Sure.
it's really nice to have it out there after all this time.
No, that's awesome. That is awesome. And so Kat, it looks like you produced the song. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we're lucky enough that in Boston we have a space that I'm gonna plug for a second, that it's called the Record Co.
Okay.
It's a nonprofit space that makes basically it's like these beautiful studios that they have in an extremely affordable rate for just to like make music accessible. We love them. I'm a like, I engineer there now and then. So I produced our EP as well, but it's fun. It's hard when you get close to the songs to
Yep.
be a sort of a bit, a little more, take a step back and think about what the song needs. I think this has also been an exercise for that, or in that for me. Trying to work on like taking that step back and seeing what suits the song rather than, I'm also the guitarist, so it's like, I could layer 900 guitars in there, but does the
Sure.
song really need 900 guitars?
Right.
But yeah, so we recorded everything over at Record Co. And then we send it off to we have a mixing engineer up in Canada,
Okay.
named Corey Bergeron. He is awesome and he works quickly and effectively and delivers awesome work. So he helps us out with all that. It's nice to like kind of after you work on a song for so long just to get it away from I'm always like I got to get it away from me.
Sure.
Get out of my own way. So, yeah.
No, that's great. And the self-producing thing, I mean, I've done some of that myself, and I know the hard part is just getting to the point where I can call it done. It's like, nope, this is done. Like I have to just be done. Otherwise, like you said, right, you can get into 900 different guitar parts. And what if we did this? And then we could, and then we
Yeah.
could. It's like, wait, no.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
what serves the song the best and how do we make that the best?
Totally. And with the digital age,
Oh
it's
boy.
only worse because it's just like I sit there and
Click new, it's
yeah,
like,
like, oh, I think I ended up one of our songs on our EP. I had 50 takes of like the same guitar part, and
sure.
I'm showing the rest of the band, and they're like, they all sound the same. Like, you're crazy. I'm like, no, you hear the string slide right there, and they're like, no, you're crazy. So yeah, you can get really carried away. I'll try to limit myself as best I can, but yeah, but it's fun too, because I think ultimately I do think that like I know I know what I want for our music too. So like that vision is still there. But at the end I just need to get it away from me after a certain point just to to stop
Yeah,
madness.
for sure. And one of the things that I learned a long, long time ago, and this is just sort of a plug to an old friend of mine. Um, I recorded in bands way back when I lived in Minneapolis, and at a studio that was run by a guy named Tim Mack, and Tim would tell us that yeah, there's sort of three things in here. He's like, basically, I think I forget how he said it, but he's like, one is you know you made a mistake, two is your bandmate knows you made a mistake, and a three is an audience member knows you made a mistake. Ones
Yeah.
and twos don't count, And I'm like, duh, okay. And so that helps me, like when I frame it through that lens, like that helps me avoid sometimes that 50 take thing where I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe I can just do 10 and cobble the best take together between them or something. But I try to be mindful of that. Sometimes is a very, very hard thing for me to do.
Yeah, totally. I think it's hard. It's hard for anyone, especially that's a really good way to look at it, especially like live too. I
Oh,
know
for
we've
sure.
all struggled with like in our band especially. It's like I when we were first playing, I'd been in many bands before, but I
Hmm.
always had this horrible like habit that I needed to break out of like when I made a mistake, I just would be look miserable on stage like the whole rest of the time. And it's like now you're bumming out the audience.
Sure.
And that's what one of my old bandmates said that to me. He's like, look, it's like it's okay. No one he's like, no one cares. He's like, you know what they care about is that you look miserable. And then they feel miserable because you look miserable. So
Yeah.
it's hard to break away.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I went through that same exact dynamic, right? And I'm super familiar with that. And I got to a point where I'm like, now it's just funny. It's like, well,
Yeah,
I train wreck. Sometimes I'll just raise my hand and my drummer will start laughing at me. And I'm like, okay, I
I
just
do
keep
the
playing.
I don't know if you've ever seen The Bear, but that like they rub their chest when they make a mistake in the kitchen,
Oh, okay.
and I'll do that even though like I like after every song I'm like, oh man, that like that's my little that was me, that one was me, that was went off the rails.
Yeah. Those are just funny though, because even my drummer, he'll laugh at me, like visibly laughing at me on stage when I screw it up, and then we just both have a laugh about it later. But it's like nobody cares, even if it's, you break. I don't know. I just remember, I don't know. It was when I was really really young, and I thought that Red Hot Chili Peppers in the Mother's Milk era was like the greatest band on the planet, and Flea was the best bass player in the world, and I was so stoked to go see them at First Avenue, and I was just unbelievable at this all age show, and then watched him make a mistake and I just flipped out. I'm like, oh my God, he's human. It was just like one of those moments where it was like, he just didn't care. It's like, of course he doesn't care, but no, that's super fun. So that's
I
cool that you go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say that I forget words to all of our songs a lot.
Oh, right.
And that's something that I used to fear really a lot when we started our band, that my mind would just blank, and now when that happens I kind of just laugh at myself or sometimes make up words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
most
the
definitely.
best way to handle it.
Yeah, I think that also the laughing thing, honestly, when I'm in the audience and somebody makes a mistake and they laugh, or I think it's like the greatest thing. Because
It's
I'm like, it's like a
fun.
joke with the audience. Because then they're
Right.
like, oh, I almost think they go, oh, you know that wasn't how that should sound. So like because I think my insecurity always came from like especially being a female guitarist that
Sure.
doesn't sing, right? It's
Yeah.
like every band I'm in all punk bands, all growing up, all high school, all of college, and it's like I was usually the only woman in the band, and it's like you would put it I would put it in my mind that like everyone's just looking at you waiting for you to mess up so they can be like, "Oh,
They're
the girl."
just judging you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And it's sort of a silly mindset because no one is watching I mean, there probably are people doing that, but like the majority of people just are there to have a good time or just check out what you sound like and decide if they like you. And I think they're gonna have a lot better of a time if you're not taking yourself so seriously and
For
just
sure.
like you realize, oh, that was a mistake. Everyone knows that was a mistake. It was kind of funny, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah, yeah, and there's this other thing that I found along the way that also really helped me with that, because I used to like there was something the way you just said that, like it's like it's a presentation and we're deciding whether or not they like us or not. And for me, I've tried so hard, and it's taken me a long time, but just to really get out of that and think of it, this is one giant common experience. Like, I'm not looking at it as you're the audience and I'm the musician on a stage and it's you consuming something. It's us in this swirling room of energy and kind of give and take and thing that's all happening. And it doesn't happen if you're not here with me. So we're just doing this together. It's just like you and I, all three of us having this conversation right now. It's like, well, you know what I mean? And to me, if I approach it like that, like, I'm so grateful that that stage fright thing left me. I'm just like, I'm just not fearful. Like, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It's like, I
it,
just do my best. What do you do?
it totally, that's a really good way to look at it. And honestly, like, I think also I was looking at it that way because I wasn't really, I think weirdly enough, I wasn't like thinking of myself as a part of like the community, like the music
Sure.
community. Like I was
Oh,
kind of like, oh,
sure.
I'm just like here, like, and other people are part of it and I'm not, and they're like waiting for me to mess up. But like the more I felt a part of like our local community, I mean, we go to shows constantly. We love to be a part of this community.
That's awesome.
Um, we always joke, it's like the Boston music scene is very like, it has its problems like any scene,
Sure.
but if other people point them out, you get mad. It's like if someone picks on your brother or something, and it's like, you're like,
Yeah.
hey, I can pick on them, but he's a good guy, leave him alone. Like that's how we've had, that's how it feels when other people look at it. But it's a really good community. There's so many people working so hard to like make things better. And that's true, I think, pretty much anywhere. You always can
Yep.
see like there are people trying to do good. And so like when I started thinking of it more like I'm a part of this, not just like someone showing up once in a while. It really did, that also kind of helped me with like my stage fright at least.
Sure. And I'm interested, and not to devolve too far into talking about other artists, because I'm not trying to do that, but I'm just curious, since you're from Boston, or you're in Boston now, not from.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so do you play shows like the Middle East and things like that?
Um, so yeah, we play out pretty often. We mostly play at well our we're like we joke that we're like the house band at this one dive bar, the Silhouette up here. Because the bartender one time was just like, I think I've heard you guys play like 6 times in the last like 4 months, but we play a lot in the area. Our drummer actually is in Portland, Maine, so he drives 2.5 hours each way to our shows. But yeah,
Committed.
we're out quite a bit. We play at the Jungle. We haven't played at the Middle East. It just hasn't worked out that way.
Sure.
We've had a couple like offers to play there and just didn't, it's honestly it's really tough with our drummer. I can't believe he does what he does, to be honest. When he told us he was moving to Maine, we were like, oh man, now we gotta go look for a drummer. He's like, so I'm thinking I'll come once a month down for practice. And we were all like, what? You're gonna commute to practice? Like
Yeah.
um, but it makes, booking can be a little difficult with that. So that's kind of why
No,
we
that makes a lot of sense.
but there's a lot of cool spots that have opened up kind of in the area as well, like Faces in Malden is really cool, and Deep Cuts in Medford is a newer spot that's
Cool.
all totally awesome. They're so nice there and have great food and just a really nice vibe. And there's a couple of new spots that just opened in Salem as well. Moonbase One, I think, is one of them, which is cool because that one was opened by like a group of like people that are in like a lot of other bands in the area. So a lot of like local people doing some really, really nice stuff.
Awesome.
We played a cover show all together, which was a little bit of a disaster. It poured rain. It was of course it did because it was outside. I said there would be no droughts if bands would just play outside all the time. But like it was
That's so true.
kind of a bit of a disaster. But we all kind of were together and we were like, hey, like let's play a porch fest or do something all together after this. And it just like kind of formed from there pretty naturally into being this. And then before we knew it, we had our first show lined up. And we had like one song written. Which was,
Yeah, I'm familiar with that too.
yeah, it was one of my friends from Jersey, one of my good friends. He was like, I'm coming up. I have a show at Sammy's in Revere, which is this kind of dive bar kind of place right on the beach, which is a cool spot. and they were like, "Hey, like, would your band? I heard you're starting a new band. Would you like to play?" And it was like 2 months out, and I'm like, "We have one song. Like, we, I was. Some of us haven't even been in bands before. Like, this is a mess." But it seemed like such a cool bill, and I was like, it'll push us. Let's do it. And so we said yes to it, and we wrote a ton of music really fast, and we put out our first song right before that show, which was pretty crazy. We did all that within like 4 or 5 months.
Got
Uh,
it. So that's the Is It All Missing or Melting, sorry, record that
yeah,
came out in
that was
2002,
I Hate It Here, which was our
2022.
first single.
Okay.
And we wrote most of those songs early that year, and then we kind of kept like recording, and we're like, oh, I don't know where like any of this is going. And then finally I was like, let's just like make an EP. Like, it feels right. We all really wanted, like, we wanted music out there so people could look us up and do all that stuff. So
Yeah.
it felt right, and we were writing really quickly. We were probably I think we would all agree that like we're proud of that EP, but
Yep.
it would not be how I would do it again. Just
Sure.
because it's just a, like, we were writing songs so fast that people were coming to me to like record their parts and had no idea what the rest of the song was like really sounding like. Like, they're like, "Oh, you totally changed like every lyric." Or like, I think our drummer Matt, one time we got like a mixed song back and I sent it to everyone. He was just like, "I didn't even know what this song really sounded like," because I was yelling into the talkback mic, verse, like, chorus, bridge.
That's
And he's
awesome.
just like blindly like, "Okay, here's a bridge,"
Here it is.
here it is. So like,
Oh, good times.
yeah, so we did it. It was super, I mean, in a lot of ways it was super punk. We did everything ourselves, and that
Cool.
was really fun. But yeah, it was a lot of stress and a lot of um it was a lot of people in our groups like first time ever recording. So like that was a
Awesome.
lot of stress for me. Just trying to be like, "Hey, so it's not a one and done kind of thing. Like, I know you're very talented, but it's not one and done. We gotta keep doing a couple takes here." So
Yep.
yeah, we wouldn't, I would say we wouldn't do it that way again, but yeah, that's how we kind of got that together. And then I think the stress and all of that from that, we wrote Psyayayduck pretty, like, almost like a month after that EP came out that came out in like December of 2022. We wrote Psyayayduck like the next month. I was like, all
Wow.
right, let's start working on the next thing.
Right.
And then we had a couple just different setbacks, as happens in life,
Sure.
and just took a really long time for that song to come together. Way more than you would ever think listening to it. It's short, it's nothing complicated, but we had a lot of just back and forth about how certain things should go. Is this part working? Is this part working? So we almost like we didn't overcook it, but we got close to it, I think, a couple of times, just because we played it so long. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh man, we've like played that song for like 2 years. That's crazy to me. Like, feel it just came out, like
Yeah.
it feels so long. But so we kind of went in two very opposite directions. We had like, quick, record everything as fast as you can and put it out and just hope for the best. And then we had like, let's like sit on this song for 2 years and play it a bunch and see what people think and what they like and what they don't like. So now we're trying to kind of meet in the middle a little bit with the rest of this, with the rest of what we're recording.
Yeah.
Um, we had like a nice little band Zoom powwow, just being like, hey, the not writing anything isn't really working either. So we need something that's in between not writing very often and writing, constantly, and recording before you know what you're doing. So
Sure. No, it's cool to hear both kind of those approaches that you took, and I'm grateful to hear that it didn't get to be too long before you recorded it. Because I mean, I'm so familiar with that, where it's no, I'm just gonna kind of let this one sort of permeate, and I'll figure it out and let it kind of grow, and like we'll see what the song turns out to, and then all of a sudden it could be 5 years later, and I'm like, yeah, I never finished it, and it's like I'm just glad you didn't do that, I'm glad that
yeah,
it's out,
yeah.
like that's awesome.
Me too. I have songs that have been through like 4 bands at this point.
Oh, right. No, totally
But I'm
feel
like,
that. Totally feel that.
we had one of the songs that ended up on our EP was like that, where I write a lot with, actually, like, with our drummer. He's like my favorite person to write with instrumentally, which I think
Mhm.
is counterintuitive for a lot of people, but I love working with drummers in general, but he's
Yeah.
got a really good ear for like melody. And that's really helpful for me. But I remember giving him one of the songs that was on the EP that was like from like 3 bands ago. And I'm like, what is this? What do we do with this? Like fix it. And he just, he changed up a bunch of things, but yeah, things go through so much change like over time. It's pretty crazy.
It sure does. Well, with that, is there anything else specifically about the song you want to talk about or something we didn't touch on that you wanted to mention?
Um, not, I don't. I
And
guess I
no,
could. One thing I would maybe want to talk about is the cover art for it is
yeah,
a
please.
theme
Oh yeah.
that is going to be continuing, which I my whole life have a lot of things that happen in this band are because I like have these weird things I've wanted to do for really long amounts of time, and then I just tell everyone we're doing it, and they're like, "Cool." Everyone's really receptive, which is nice. But we kind of went with this like I Spy kind of vibe with it of like hiding a bunch of things in the cover art and different references from things in our band. So that's going to be like a theme that we're kind of working on. So that's been pretty fun, just like collecting different miniatures and working
Nice.
out what like the different scenes are for different songs and how things go. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's super fun. It's a great cover. I'll make sure that that's in the social post so everybody else can see it too. So when they're listening to the episode, they can flip through Instagram and go, "Oh, that's the
Yeah.
artwork." No, that's great. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and find out what y'all are working on next and where people can get a hold of you. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
sure.
great.
Cool. All right. Hang tight, everyone. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back with Kat and Amanda from Indoor Friends talking about the song. I'm going to say it wrong again. I'm going to say it Psyayayduck. Is that right?
Sorry, I
Damn it. Psyayayduck. And it's been cool just getting to know you all about the band, how you came together, the song, your process, and the different changes you've gone through in your approach to songwriting and recording. So I wanted to find out what are you all working on next? Because I know you mentioned something about singles and maybe a record at the end of the year. What do you have coming up that you kind of want to push, promote, plug, or share with everyone?
Sure. Yeah, we are the next single that we're putting out is called Fired Up. Um why are you laughing about that? Okay.
Just how it came about.
Oh yeah, that one's a really fun kind of anthemic song. So we're stoked to get that one out there. That's one that I've been working on for a really long time, and yeah, we've been just kind of working through some songs that have we had a void folder for a little while that we called it. We're just like everything. People would have ideas and we'd be like, oh yeah, put it in the folder, and then we'd forget about the folder, and now we're like trying to actually push ourselves to go through it and really work on everyone's ideas. So we have a couple more songs in the works. A lot of shows coming up. We always have shows coming up. We try to stay pretty busy, I feel like,
Mhm.
with everything.
Yeah, especially with summer coming, we're probably gonna be doing lots of porch fests.
Lots of porch fests, lots of the local stuff going on. But yeah, so we'll have probably yeah, we're gonna keep working on recording. But we have about, I don't know, like 8 songs in mind that we're gonna put together. So we'll see what that ends up being. And I say 8, and it could end up being way more or way less. I have no idea. But 8 that we're thinking, we'll put
Got
to.
it. No, that's
But
awesome. So you're saying performing local. So do you, and I know with your drummer being in Maine, that's probably not the easiest thing in the world. So is there any regional or other touring that you have in plans for? Do you ever come down to Florida and try to hit up Fest or anything like that?
Fest is like an actual dream of mine. I had a very long you know, pining over that for a few years now. But no, we haven't done much touring. We go down to mainly we go down to like New York a bit. We play in Connecticut. We do play up in Maine here and there, which is always a blast. Maine is so weird. everyone's so cool and weird there. But yeah, no, Fest is definitely a goal of mine. I have yet to play Fest with any band I've been in. So yeah, but no, we don't have any plans for anything too far out of the Northeast right now.
Got it. No, that's cool. So then where's the best place for anyone who wants to keep up on where you're performing next that lives in the Northeast or just around the world that wants to hear your music? Where should they follow you? Where should they look you up?
We're pretty active on Instagram, I feel like.
Okay.
And we're also, we keep our, Bandcamp, Spotify, all the streaming overlords. We try to keep them happy. And
It's so well said. That's awesome.
and I won't. I'll spare everyone my ramblings on it, but you
Oh
could.
yeah. No,
There's much to be said about the streaming overlords.
there is.
People, unfortunately, because there are so many people that I know would never have heard our music if it weren't on that. But it's also, all the other things. So
Yeah, I think it was public, so I can just sort of semi-paraphrase Snoop Dogg, where he's like, "Yeah, so there's like 50 million streams. Where's the money?"
Yeah.
When he said that, I just lost it because, like, I mean, if you're not getting paid, man, I am not getting paid at all. Like, there's no chance, So it's brutal. But I'm glad that you're on Bandcamp, and for all the listeners, there's frequently something called Bandcamp Fridays, where if you buy things off of Bandcamp on a Friday, the artist gets all the money. So plan for those events when you hear about them. Pay attention to your socials and join their mailing lists and things so you can get notified, because that's a great time to go buy our music from artists so that you can ensure they're getting paid.
Totally. And we try to put out stuff on Bandcamp Friday that's Bandcamp
Cool.
exclusive. So
Awesome.
last Bandcamp Friday we put out a live version of Psyayayduck
Yeah.
that we did over at Cart Studios in Philly, which was super fun. We did like a whole live session with them. So we put it up for free, but
Yeah.
that's what we try to do on Bandcamp Friday, or that's what I should say. The whole band is screaming at me right now listening to me say this, but we try to put something that's Bandcamp exclusive up every Bandcamp.
Sure.
We have a couple of them planned at least for the next few. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, no, that's great. And yeah, I'll make sure to include all of those different means of how to get a hold of you when I post this up. But I just want to thank you both so much for taking the time and putting forth the song and wanting to come on and talk about it. It's been super cool, like chatting with you both and getting to know you a bit. And I look forward to keeping track of you guys as you go forward, and look forward to your next releases for sure.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Three Crows Club presents B-side breakdown.
All right, and that wraps up another episode of the B-Side Breakdown. I want to thank Kat and Amanda from Indoor Friends for coming along to talk about their song Psyayayduck. I also want to thank Adam Coolong and Carrie Bozel for helping me put together the jingle you hear at the beginning and the end of this episode. In the background, you're hearing a song called Wolves Sheep by the band Forbidden Seas. If you dig what you hear, then go back and listen to the previous episode, because that's what it was all about. Up next, we have a song called Call to Action by 504 with their actual label, Scott Pash. It's an interesting episode because Scott runs this label. 504 is his band that are in high school, and he helps them put out their records, and the song apparently just came out as of the beginning of June. So we want to get that episode out so that y'all can hear it. But that's up next. I'll give you a taste of that in a minute. Please subscribe to this podcast wherever you get your podcasts. I can't thank you enough for your ongoing and continued support. Stay safe out there. Stay sane if you can, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.
This is a call to action.